I've skated street in about 35 different states, and people ask me all the time about finding skate spots. Spot hunting is perhaps my favorite part of skateboarding, and I have been able to skate some pretty cool spots. Over the past decade, I've built a custom Google Maps layer with about 2,000 pins in it. I wanted to share a bit more about what I do behind the scenes to pin all these spots and kind of the workflow that I use so that when you are out on a session and you pull out your phone, you can see everything around you like this. There's a ton of skate spot apps out there, and there's a handful of custom map apps as well, but I like to use Google, mostly because it's been there for a while and I know it's going to continue to be there. So let's dig into this workflow here. The first thing you're going to do is go to My Maps, and you are going to need to do this on a web browser. So you can do it from your phone, but you're going to need to use a browser, not the Google Maps app. What you'll do is you can go ahead and create a new map. Now we need a spot. There's 3 different ways that I kind of end up spot searching. The first is active spot searching. So for example, if I'm gonna go take a skate trip to Boston, or I'm gonna be traveling to some specific place, I will actively search for spots in said place. The second is stuff you pass in real life and you take a picture of. Maybe something you drive by or you walk by and you see a cool ledge, you take a picture of it. I think these first 2 ways most people are familiar with and probably doing, but the third way I think has the biggest long-term payoff, and that's gonna be passive spot searching. First, let me show you how I add spots, and I'll start with my workflow for things I come across in real life. What I do is take a photo of a spot, and then I will add that to an album on my phone called Spots to Add. Make sure your location services are on when you are using the camera app. Later, when I'm not out and about, I'll go back into that album and I will add those spots to my map. It takes about 30 seconds or so to add each one. So first what I'll do is I'll pull up the spot and I will go ahead and click Get Info, and that pulls up my little map here of where I took this photo. This only gives me like a pin. It doesn't give me the exact address or coordinates. I usually just go into a regular Google Maps view and refine the pin basically. I usually use like cross streets is the easiest method. So I'll look for Fillmore Ave and Seminary Ave, and then it's a little bit over. Fillmore Ave and Seminary Ave in Alexandria. And if we follow Fillmore Ave, the spot is right here. I remember because I was there. So I will press and hold and go ahead and copy these coordinates. And then I will go over to my Google, my Maps map, and search for the coordinates. Great, I've got the spot. I'm going to pin it and I'll name it. So this is a 1 flat 4 kink rail. If I want to write about it, I can. For example, this one, probably you want a ramp up the curb. And then what I'm gonna do is I wanna add a photo. So to add the photo, I'm going to open up Imgur, not sure, and I'm going to take my photo and drag it to Imgur and right click on it and then click copy image address, not copy image address, and then go back to my map, click my photo, use image URL and paste that image URL. And so now I've got the spot with a photo pinned onto the map. From here, you can customize how these pins look. And so you can either customize the color or the icon or both. I use colors for 2 things. It depends on the map I'm making. One is color can distinguish the type of spot. So all the rails are red, all the banks are blue, that sort of thing. You can also use color to indicate whether that spot needs like work or whether it's good to go. So green would mean there's nothing you need to do, just show up at the spot and you can skate it. Whereas orange would be maybe you want some plywood or a sign. Whereas red is like, hey, this needs Bondo or you need to lay some concrete or something like that. And then you can customize your map a little bit more to your liking if that's something you want to do. So now we've got a spot on the map with an image. So now what I do is keep going through that album on my phone and add all the spots that I have saved up that are in my spots to add album. And as I add them, I will then remove them from the album on my phone. And once it's empty, then I know I'm up to date. And so that's kind of in real life spot searching. The other two ways I mentioned, active and passive spot hunting. Active, I'll probably make its own video on that and do it for a specific city and then go skate those. So let me talk more about passive spot searching and what I mean by that. When I'm watching skate videos or scrolling through Instagram or scrolling through Reddit sometimes, I will come across interesting spots. Basically, I'm looking for clues that I could find this spot and it might be interesting to go skate one day. And so I will look around for it. Let's say you find 1 or 2 random spots each week. A year of doing that, you're gonna end up with 50 to 100 different spots in your spot book. And yeah, some of these will be scattered geographically, but doing that over and over and over again, 1, you get better at finding them. And 2, you end up with a really thorough spot book so that when you open your phone and you're trying to figure out what spot to skate, you've got a ton of options. And if you travel, you will have options most places you go, hopefully. I'm gonna go through a couple examples of 2 recent ones that I found just kind of scrolling around, and then I will go through, there's one that I'm pretty sure I can find but haven't found yet, and so I'll try and do that one. First one I'll do here, I was scrolling through Reddit the other day and I saw this post of this guy doing a back tail on an outledge, stomped at Lindenwood University. And so my first thought was, Lindenwood University, I could probably find this spot. Is it an interesting spot to find? Candidly, there's a lot of outledges. This one doesn't look terrible, it doesn't look amazing, but if it's easy to find, and because I know exactly where it is, I might as well go pin it or at least see a little bit more about it. So I'm scrolling through my feed, I saw this, I paused, and I was kind of like, okay, where's Lindenwood University? So I'll search. Okay, St. Charles, Missouri. If I zoom out, is that suburb of St. Louis? Okay, so I might end up there at some point in time. Might as well have a spot around. So I know that this spot, or I'm pretty sure this spot's at Lindenwood University outside St. Louis. If you've ever had a pin or had someone say this spot's at this college, that sounds like you're close to finding the spot, and then you go to the college and it could take hours of walking around trying to find it in real life. So I'm not gonna just pin the school. I'm actually gonna look for a minute to see if I can find the specific spot at the school. And the way I'm gonna do that is I am going to look at the video, and I see that there's a road sign right here, so there's probably a road or a street right here, and it turns. And then I notice, there's stairs going downhill leading up to it. There's another building in the background here. There's another sidewalk that comes into this one, and then the landing looks like there's probably a building you run into, but I can't actually tell. So I'm just gonna spend a minute and see if I can find something that looks like that. And for the most part, I'm looking for the curved stairs. Like if those had stairs on it, I might check there, but I don't really see that. These are all kind of straight pathways. And it's curved, but no stairs. So this is kind of interesting. Maybe this, I can drop right next to it. I think those are the same handrails. They're painted a different color, but the rails are the same. So it kind of gives me a reference point here. So I think I'm close. Oh, this is probably it. Yeah, these stairs go down. We've got the road right here. We said we were expecting that. There's another sidewalk that goes off. And then I'm guessing this is that metal grate that he rolls over right before popping, this grate right here. So let's See if we can confirm that. Yep, there's the sign. And the stairs. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we can't see after that, but I'm pretty sure this is it. The second one doesn't look like it has a handrail. Yeah, no handrail here and no handrail right here. So I'm gonna say that this is it. Yeah, I'm gonna say that this is it. That would be the outledge right here. It also looks like maybe there's something over here too. But I think this is the spot. So I'm gonna go ahead and hold down, get the coordinates, copy those, go over to my map, paste it in here, and I'm gonna add my pin, 5-stair outledge. And then for my image, I will do this. That's a 4-stair outledge, okay. For my image, I'll go ahead and just take a screenshot. I don't really care if those are in there. Then I will copy that screenshot over to Imgur here, copy image address. And I've got my spot now. So that was just an example of randomly scrolling through Reddit and then finding the spot and then pinning the spot on my map. And again, it took only a couple minutes. So here's another example. I was watching this video from Cinema Skate Shop. They're a shop video, and this shop is kind of close to me. It's a couple hours away. And so I was watching this and just seeing if there's any interesting spots to skate in Charlottesville if I wanted to go down that way. And I saw this rail. And so I'd never seen this rail before, and I mean, if it's being front crooked and front feebled that well, it is probably pretty good. So I looked at these clips a couple of times to see if there's any clues. I'm looking for buildings with signs. I'm looking for street signs, anything that I can Google to get a little bit of a better understanding. I'm guessing this is in Charlottesville because it's a Charlottesville video, but I don't really know. And so I kind of looked at this a couple times to see if there's any buildings or whatnot or signs, and I didn't see any. However, in the background of all these clips, there's a bunch of like younger kids. It looks like students. And so I'm guessing Charlottesville is where University of Virginia is. I'm guessing that this is on UVA's campus, just based on what looks like students, and it looks like a college campus, and that's the college campus there. So I'm guessing it's on UVA's campus, and as I was looking more and more and more at these clips, I paused it and noticed this M here, which looks to me like a street sign. And so what I did is I said, that is really unlikely that I will be able to find that based on an M street sign, but I'm gonna just look and see. And so specifically what I was curious about was, is there a street with an M that's really obvious on UVA's campus? And upon looking, what I saw was this road, McCormick, which very well could be this spot. And so look back here, that could definitely be McCormick. The street sign has this like icon on it, so I wanted to confirm that the street signs on campus look like that, which you can just place it down, and yes, that's definitely the same thing. So then what I'm gonna do is, assuming McCormick is this road in the background here, and we know that there looks like there's an intersection here, so McCormick would be running right there, and then there's a road here. So what I'm looking for is a road that intersects McCormick, and the spot would be right here or right here based on where the buildings are. And if I go ahead and plop my little guy right down here, you'll see the spot, which this is McCormick, and then this is the road that intersects it, and we can, oh, that's blurry. We can check out this 12-stair rail right here. Let's go ahead and add this to the map. So we've got 58 Bonnycastle. I will go ahead and, that did not take me to Charlottesville. That is the end of the road. I don't want that. Let me flip this to a satellite, and the spot was right here. UVA 12 rail, we'll get an image. That's not a great one. So take a screenshot, paste it into Imgur. Copy my image. Perfect. Now we've got our 12 rail on this map. Let me go through one more example I saw, or one more spot. So I was scrolling through Instagram the other day, and this clip showed up on my feed. And so the first thing I noticed about it was, well, one, 9-stair handrail, never seen the rail before. I'm in the market for a 9-stair rail. But I also noticed Thomas Jefferson School written in the background there. So my first thought is I might be able to find this. Usually if I see a clip with like a school name in it, if the spot looks cool, I'll go ahead and try and find it. It's a lot easier when the school name is more unique. There are probably a lot of Thomas Jefferson schools in the US. So what I need from there is like a little bit more context to figure out where exactly this school might be. So the first thing I do is click on this guy's profile and scroll through it. I know this spot is in Trenton, New Jersey. That's just, I don't know how I know that, I just do. There's the clip. I was just at this park. This is GPS DIY. This is also in Trenton, New Jersey. So I'm guessing he's New Jersey area. Some of these other accounts he's tagged in his profile, I could click on and confirm. Zucca Skateboards, New Jersey. So he's a New Jersey guy. So this rail is not necessarily in New Jersey, but that's a good place I can start. So what I'm gonna do is go to New Jersey, and I'm going to search for Thomas Jefferson School. I'm gonna zoom in around Trenton and just search again. And I've got, as expected, a ton of Jefferson schools. I'm gonna start in Trenton and then kind of expand from there. So let's look at this first one here. But before I do that, I'm gonna relook at the clip real quick and see exactly what I'm looking for and talk about that. I can tell a couple things. One, I'm looking for a sidewalk that's coming towards a blacktop or an asphalt surface. The building makes this L here, so I can see this wing kind of comes out, and then there's gonna be an L here. And I'm trying to think about what this will look like from a satellite view. He's landing on, this says fire lane, no parking, I'm assuming. So this actually I might be able to see from the satellite, depending on when they take the picture and when this was repainted. So if I don't see it, that doesn't mean it's not there, but I could look for it. And I saw an arrow on this surface as well. So that tells me he's not landing on a basketball court. He's not landing on a blacktop, like a schoolyard that might have Foursquare painted or something. He's most likely landing in the parking lot. So I am going to be looking for that. The L in the building, landing onto a parking lot, and specifically a sidewalk that leads to a parking lot. The last thing that I noticed is this is under a tree, so you might actually not see the stairs itself in the satellite image, but it depends. It's an evergreen tree, so even if they take it in the winter, it's still gonna have stuff on it. So yeah, you probably won't see the the stairs themselves in the satellite. So let's go ahead and now look at Jefferson School first, and I can tell right away this is not going to be it. Mostly because this building does not have that L shape anywhere. And this building appears to be a different school name. And it doesn't have an L shape either. There's also nothing that goes into the parking lot. Now, if I want to get distracted here, this looks interesting. And I wonder if I can drop a street view guy right there. No. Okay, so I can't really see it. That's interesting. If I wasn't making this video, I would maybe try and figure that out a little bit more. But let's look at the next Jefferson. So College of Nursing, it says Thomas Jefferson School. It's probably not a College of Nursing. There's Thomas Jefferson Medical School in Philadelphia. I know that. It's probably not that. So now I can either go up toward Allentown, up to northern New Jersey, or I will just try this last one in southern New Jersey. So let's go into here, and oh, this is it. This is definitely it. Wow, okay. So we've got the L in the building. We've got a sidewalk going into a parking lot, which we thought we'd look for, and the fire lane is very, very clear. And we have the tree blocking the stairs, just like I predicted. So if I go and put my little guy here, let's see if we can put eyes on it. I'm guessing it's right there. You can kind of see it, but the school bus is in the way. So let's see, can I move? That's funny. You can kind of see it still. Let me go back in time. There we go. There's the rail. Perfect. So we've got a 9-stair rail at in southern New Jersey. And then I'll go ahead and add this to my map. So we've got that. I will pin it right on the rail. 9-stair rail. And image-wise, I'm going to just screenshot this, add it, and we've got our 9-stair rail. So now if I zoom out here, we've added what, 4 spots? So we've got 4 spots. We've got a couple on the East Coast, and we've got this one out in Missouri. One other way you can find spots, this is the last one I'll go through. So I posted this video of, I put this on my Instagram story a couple weeks ago of me grinding this Hubba, and I geotagged Philadelphia in the clip. I got several messages asking where this was or what the pin for this was. If I'm passively going through an Instagram feed and I saw this clip and I wanted to find the spot, the first thing I would do, seeing that it's in Philly, I might just go into Google and describe it. Philadelphia Hubba skate spot. And lo and behold, because it is a famous spot, not only do you get 3 Hubbas, but that's gonna be your first result here. So then you've got this website, Find Skate Spots. I will talk about that in the video of active spot searching, which will be in the future. But you can go ahead and just copy this address and throw it into your map. And that pin is not quite in the right spot, but the Hubba is right here. And so I will pin it, MLK Hubba, and I know what this is. I'm not going to add an image. But yeah, that is how I go about finding spots, adding them to my map. And what is really great about adding them to Google My Maps like this is when you are out in the streets, you can overlay this map onto your normal Google Maps map and see what is nearby, which is really helpful for getting things done when you're trying to skate street and nobody knows what spot they want to go to. Just pick one. So yeah, hope this helped. If you have questions, let me know what they are, and I am happy to dive deeper on any of these areas if that is interesting. Okay, so I forgot to mention how to pull this up on Google Maps. You just open your map, make sure you're signed into your Google account. At the bottom in the center, click U, and then you should see under Saved a section called Maps, and then you can go ahead and just grab your map.